Janini Beanie, we meet
We
again.
meet again.
I
There's
call
some
my
more.
granddaughter Killy Bean, so I have to call you Janini Beanie. I
I
have
like
to.
that. Well, Chili Bean is adorable. It's adorable. 125 members in the studio right now.
Hey,
125. So that's
I'm
good.
famous.
I just let some more in, so hopefully that'll help. Welcome. Good
Yes,
evening. Is it Monday? Happy Monday.
every Monday, here we are, you and me, girl.
I don't
Yep,
even know the day of the week
yep,
anymore, Mary Grace. That's the bad thing. So let's give people a couple seconds to hop on.
yeah.
I guess what we can ask is if you would drop a comment the second you come in, let us know you're here. We would love to chit chat with you. There's a ton of you watching. I see a bunch. So please leave us a comment. Let us know you're here. Hello, hello, hello.
Hi. I
Tell us
love
where
when
you're
we.
from, where you're watching from.
Yeah, let us know what part of the country you're screen. What am I trying to say? Tuning in from. And
What neck of the wait, what it's like in your neck of the woods.
yeah, where's Waldo?
Where's Waldo? Hello, hello to everyone in the Grace and Grit
Yes.
studio. Hello to everybody in Team Shine On, and hello to everybody on YouTube. This is
Yes.
fantastic.
If you're catching
Fantastic.
us on purpose, it means someone thinks very highly of you and invited you. If you're catching us by accident, then it's serendipity and happy things happen by accident. So I'm Mary Grace Lewandowski. I'm an executive company vice president with Park Lane Jewelry. Absolutely love my job. I've been in the direct sales space for about, oh my gosh, 20 something years. Janine Villano George coming to you from Allentown, Pennsylvania. I'm in the middle of St. Louis, Missouri, down in my basement bedroom because we can work from anywhere.
Yes, we can.
And Janine, tell them what we're about to do.
Well, what we're about to do is take about 15 minutes of your time. We're going to answer 4 questions that are commonly asked by people who might be interested in a side hustle, additional income stream, extra job. Now, these might not be things you're interested in, but you were invited here today to listen to this.
Yes,
And we really are kind of just trying to get your feedback. So
yes.
let us know what you think of the opportunity. There's going to be a questionnaire at the end. If you are in the Grace and Grit studio, that questionnaire is pinned to the top. If you were invited to this particular event, get back with your stylist. She'll get you that questionnaire if you can't see it. Okay.
Okay.
So, Mary Grace, we're going to ask those 4 questions. But before we do, oh my goodness, do you see this? We have Arizona, Tennessee, Wisconsin, Iowa, Pennsylvania in the house. Isn't this wonderful?
Such brilliance. Such brilliant people. Do you know how many people out of 100% in the world will take a chance on something, Janine? Do
I
you
know
know this?
I know it's a very, very small number.
Yeah.
It's kind of like shockingly small.
5%.
Yeah, that's insane.
95% of people are into failure avoidance. So just the act of even listening to something, you're in that top percentage, guys. So congratulations to you. And guess how many are extremely successful? 5%. Yeah. 95% of the population just kind of stays on the what they consider the straight and narrow. Complain about their situation, but don't do anything about their situation.
Mm,
So thank goodness I stepped outside of that some time ago.
yeah.
And so did you.
Yeah. I love that you opened with that. That's great. So I'm going to ask Mary Grace these 4 questions that are probably burning in your mind right now. And it's going to help you just hear what we have to say, because what you're listening to tonight may not be something that you're interested in, or it might, but you might know somebody, a friend, a family member who we could help and bless with this business. And that is what we do. We bless people with businesses. So Mary Grace, I'm going to start with the age old question, because, there's so many different answers to this, but what is direct sales? Why direct sales?
Yeah, so that is what we do. We are in direct sales. And I kind of fell into it because I went to an event and I thought it looked so fun and I loved what the gal was doing. And I said that I wanted more information about it. I was very lucky. But I think there's such a misunderstanding about direct sales that a lot of people purposefully do not look into it, or they have people that know nothing about direct sales that tell them that it's not a good thing. And you guys, it's a great thing. All direct sales means is direct to consumer. It's misunderstood as, I've heard people say, is that one of those pyramid schemes or
Yeah.
multi-level marketing? No, we provide a really neat service. We work to bring our product directly to the customer. And in today's world, that is super coveted way for people to hear about, or to the type of service that they want. Because sure, everybody's like loving shopping online, but they're not loving that there's no personal connection. And in the same way, people aren't necessarily loving going to the mall and trying to find the sizes
True.
and colors and things that they want. So the fact that we represent direct to our consumer is actually a very powerful place to be in today's world. And 78% of, well, at least here in our company, 78% of us do
Mhm.
strictly online, servicing our customer that way, and 9% strictly in home by doing like special events and parties and stuff like that. And then the rest of us are both, which is what Jeanine and I fall
Yep.
into. We meet our customer where they are. So direct sales simply means direct to consumer. I do have one of my favorite stories about direct sales because it made such an impression on me something 20 something years ago, about David Bach, who wrote The Automatic Millionaire. And he had this whole like planned out for people on how, by investing $300 to $500 a month, how an everyday normal person, which is what I consider us, could become a millionaire in a very short space of time, like 10 years.
Mhm.
And he said, as people started to come in and he started to talk to this plan with them, which he was so excited about, he realized we had a way bigger problem here in America, and that's that people didn't have $300 to $500 a month. Now, in today's world, I think it would fairly translate to about $500 to $700 a month. That would get you to a millionaire in as short of a time. And he realized that in order to help people come up with this extra money, because he 90 something percent of people, they weren't living paycheck to paycheck, Janine. They were living beyond paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
They were in debt, you know. So he said they would laugh and say, if we had that kind of money, we'd be paying off credit cards, we'd be, going on a family vacation, we'd be doing, fixing that furnace when it blows up, all those kind of things. And he said, he made it his mission to find how people could, without upsetting their current lifestyle, without making huge changes, like a stay at home mom going back to work full time. So, or people having to show up when other people tell them to show up. He
Right.
said that's when he discovered direct sales. And he said it's all of the benefits of running your own business with none of the overhead and none of the risk. The beauty of direct sales is you get to decide when you're going to work. You get to decide how much you want to work. You get to decide what hours you're going to work. And very powerfully, that's what both Janine and I and anybody who's in the direct sales space figured out very quickly is we can work it around our schedules
Schedule.
and we can decide what we want to do with it. If it's to make an extra $500 to $700 a month to invest so we can become millionaires quickly, there you have it. But if it's to pay for a birthday party that week, there you have it. So I am a huge proponent, believer in direct sales. I believe that everybody should try direct sales. It isn't for everybody, but it is worth for everybody giving it a try.
Love
Absolutely.
that. Love that.
Yeah.
Somebody just put hashtag replay. Nope, you're watching it live, Sandy.
Yeah, you are. Like it or
We're
not.
here watching you. Thank you so much. There's a ton of people on. This is awesome. Absolutely awesome. So now that we know what direct sales is, why jewelry in direct sales?
Again, I'm not going to use my own brain and experiences. I'm going to use somebody else's because I do my research. And when I hear things over and over again, I know them to be true. And the Levine family started our company in 1955.
Mhm.
They knew that they wanted to use the direct sales model, which we just spoke about. Their number one reason that they wanted to do direct sales is they had decided, they had a goal that they wanted to create a business that would trickle down to their children's children. So people would have like financial stability. Why they love the direct sales model is they didn't just want it for their own family, they want it for more of us, which actually is what happened because people like my children's children and your children's children are going to be set with this business model that we have. What they didn't know, Janine, was what product should we represent?
Mhm.
So what they did think probably like a home product. They were starting like around the same time that Stanley home products were starting, things like that. So they hired three consulting companies. And these three separate consultants come in to meet with the Levine family. And the Levine family said to them, I want each of you, none of them knew the others had been hired. We want each of you to go out into the world, do your homework, come back with the top three product choices, and be ready to defend your answers. And as an ex teacher, I love that. Be ready to defend your answers. Well, much to their surprise, all three of these guys, they were guys, came back with jewelry as number one. The other options varied, but number one across the board. And it honestly shocked the Levines. And as it did me, that I ended up in jewelry because I used to be one of those people that would be like, who would
Yep.
sell jewelry? Well, I was wrong. So they defended their answers. and they still hold so true. And now I've lived them and experienced them. You guys don't know me, but I'm like really transparent, and I would never say anything that I hadn't, that I hadn't experienced or that wasn't true. This is what's so amazing about jewelry, okay? First of all, the market. We literally sell to everybody. Okay,
Right.
every size, every shape, every gender. We sell to everybody, from newborn babies to people that are about to turn 100, because jewelry is worn and enjoyed by everybody. If it's not, it's one of the number one gifts in the world: candy, flowers, and
Jewelry.
jewelry. It
Mhm.
withstands the test of time. From, I mean, we see, like, if you watch Flintstones, you see that Wilma has a very nice necklace on. you know,
Those
all the
big,
way
you
up to
remember the big stones?
the big stones. Yeah. And the forecast, they forecasted right now to go up
It's
something
true
like
though.
10 times. It's gone up every year since I've been in the industry. Accessorizing is where it's at. It's
Mhm.
considered consumable. That meant a lot to me. Fashion is consumable. It changes with the times, it changes with the outfits, the trends, just everything that's in. It's not like people get one necklace and say, I'm set for life.
Right.
So it's considered consumable. Now, those are all from the customer standpoint, right? But it's a feel good product. It helps serotonin levels go up. It's one of the only products that goes up in economic hard times, because people will buy themselves a little piece of jewelry even if they're not buying cars and houses, right? But then from our standpoint, from somebody who represents jewelry, oh my gosh, it's so inexpensive to ship and store. We
Yeah.
can throw, in fact, I was just working on a couple like little envelopes this size to send somebody something if I have to. Most of the time it goes from Park Lane direct to the customer.
Right.
But Park Lane is able to keep millions of dollars of inventory in our Chicago warehouse, which was a lifesaver for us during COVID.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't weren't waiting for barges to come in. We were good to go because we had so much inventory. And we wear our product. I mean, the beauty of that is it is not a hard sell. We are out there in the world with our product on. When
Yeah.
someone says, "Oh my gosh, I love your necklace," it's
I
just a
didn't even
matter
go
of,
out today, right?
yeah, it's
And
a
I
matter
have
of
on the Bora Bora bracelet because it's so pretty.
segueing over to, like, "Oh my gosh, I'm in the fashion industry. This is what I do. This is the product I represent. Oh, what
Yeah.
company do you work for?" "Well, we do personal appointments, private showings. I could get you into one of my online events." Whatever, we're on our way. So yes, jewelry is definitely the place to be.
It sounds it. And it's interesting that I always love
You should
when you
join.
explain. Yeah, I'm glad I'm doing it. I always love when you explain about how the Levines had someone like, had consultants come in and do
Such
that.
a
That is
real
amazing
story.
back in
Yeah,
1950s to do
yeah,
that. So, they
yeah.
were ahead of the curve back
And
then,
here
which
we
is
all are.
awesome.
Yeah,
And here
yeah,
we all are.
yeah.
So, okay, so now that you explained, why jewelry, how about why Park Lane jewelry? What sets us apart?
Well, I don't know that I've shared this in earlier calls, but I actually was in a position. I used to work for another direct sales company, and I was in a position where I was had really two job offers in 1 week. One of which was from Park Lane Jewelry, and the other was from another jewelry company. So I lived this, and I was very flattered. They were going to have me be like the in charge of all of their salespeople, the whole field, corporate position. And I thought, whoever I want work for, though, I want to represent the best. And one of the reasons that I was so into Park Lane, and you'll hear when we do the next question, but is that we have such a variety
Mhm.
of jewelry. So other companies have jewelry, but they usually have a niche market. So it might be all silver, all pearls. It might be just charms. It might be just a certain style. Where here at Park Lane, we have every variety of jewelry. So I think that is absolutely huge. You know what? I lost the question. What was the question?
Oh, so why Park Lane? Why Park
Yeah.
Lane? Why is
I was
Park Lane
answering
jewelry set
directly.
apart?
Yeah.
But you're no, you're on. You're exact. This is exactly what you answering it. You're answering it properly. You are.
I know. So we're a full service jewelry company, and
Yes.
we are the largest direct sales jewelry company in the industry, and the one that's been around the longest, which is a good thing. A lot of people are always like, "I want to get up with a startup company," and I'm like, "No, you don't." 'Cause
That's true.
you want to get with a company where people that are just starting have just as much ability to make it just as much of a success and money as those of us who've been around longer and those of us who came before us. So our model is super super profitable and super wonderful. Like, we have people that do their due diligence we're the only company that I know of in direct sales that recognize experience and bring
Yep.
people in at levels commensurate with the experience that they have, which really meant something to me and meant something to you.
Yep.
It's a neat industry, and we learn and we educate ourselves. And those of us who are really good at it, it took us some time to get there because we paid attention and we learned. So how wonderful that I could come here and immediately teach others to do what I did, which is a huge asset in our organization because we have hundreds of years of experience in our organization to help people be successful. And so does Park Lane because they've been around for so long. But when people do their due diligence and they're ready to choose a company and they do their homework and they do spreadsheets and stuff, they always choose Park Lane because we have the richest programs in the
Right.
industry. We have the most popular, generous customer sale. We have the most generous hostess program. And we have the most generous profit program, having the highest paid reps in the industry. We also have like we make it our mission to be able to lead people in a way that's going to be attractive to them. So if somebody wants travel, we have 2 travel trips a year. If somebody wants to do it for free jewelry, we have the ability to earn up to $1,000 in free jewelry every month. And we
Mhm.
also get paid on the jewelry that we buy for ourselves. I mean, think about that, customers out there. When you love to get a check every time you spent money at a store that you go to, at the grocery store or whatever. So that's super cool. We don't have quotas. And I think that is more attractive
Number
than
one.
people realize.
Mhm.
Most companies have quotas. And if you don't meet that quota, then you lose your title, you lose your ability to be, with that company. We lead with the carrot, not with the stick. They don't believe in leading through fear and intimidation. They believe in leading through, like the stars in our eyes of all of the possibilities that are ahead of us. So yeah, Park Lane rates really highly up there of all the direct sales company. People who just fall into Park Lane and it's their first try with direct sales, they don't even know what they have. People who have done other companies before have their mouth open the whole time when we're talking about
Yes.
programs.
Yes. Because when you have been with another direct sales company and you find out that you can laterally move here in a management position once you're interviewed, that's huge because in
It
direct
is.
sales, that never happens. And then no quotas, no overhead. You don't lose your ability to be in management. You don't demote. I mean, there's a
Never.
lot of really
Yeah.
great
And
things.
honestly, the biggest defense against us is trying other companies try to assure people don't hear about us. They really do. They don't know what else to do, so they want to make sure people just
Okay.
don't even hear about Park
Good
Lane.
way of
Like,
putting it.
yeah.
It's a good way of putting it. And that's the fear because of what we have here, and we all know
Yeah.
that. Those
Yeah.
of us that are in it know it. We
Yeah.
100% know it.
Yeah.
Okay, final question, and I love how you answer this every single time. Why now?
You
Why is
have
now a great
to.
time?
I feel like as I get older, like we always need purpose, and I found great purpose in this job, being able to help women and men make something of their lives that they never knew they could,
Yeah.
given the background that they had or the tools that they had. It's just like being able to have financial freedom and all kinds of freedom, be where you need to be when you need to be there. I just love that. But one of the things I've learned, that whether you decide to try Park Lane or not, which obviously I want you to for your sake, guys out there, but whatever you do in life, one of the success principles is that successful people lean in. An awful lot is lost by overthinking.
Mm,
And I don't know how else to say it. Of okay, so like if you're looking at something like this and you're like, well, what if I don't get any parties? Well, if you don't do this, you won't get any parties. What if my friends and family
same
don't
thing.
like
Right.
jewelry? Well, if you don't try this, you won't find out if they, or perhaps there's a whole world out there that may like jewelry, right? Okay. So it's kind of like any time that you're looking at something, successful people look at the risks. They don't jump off cliffs, without a parachute. But when you look at something like this, they're like, okay, I'm going to come out of this ahead no matter what. And
Mhm.
you will come out of this ahead no matter what, especially right now. So we have a deal that for $99,
Mhm.
you get to choose $500 worth of jewelry. In addition to that, you get an impression bracelet of your choice,
Yep.
which retail for $188. So really, in essence, what are you getting? $688
688 for
worth of
$99.
jewelry for $99. Okay. $99 for just the bracelet. would be a little bit more than half price. Okay. So it's a really super wonderful opportunity. Also, we just launched a new line in January.
Yes, we
We're
did.
going into people are in transition with the seasons. That's always a wonderful time to represent accessories. And we have a new spring capsule that's going to be dropping in the not too distant future. And the $99 doesn't cover just jewelry of your choice to do with what you wish, but it also gets you into the back office. It gets you your own personal website,
Right.
everything that you need to start and run a successful business. And after a year, if you decide you want to stay with us, the rest of us all pay $100 to re-up our website. That's
Yep.
it.
Yep.
So it's certainly you're paying a dollar less for your website than we regular humans do every year.
That's
And you
regular
don't
folk.
get to pick out the jewelry, and of course we're all in because we're like, oh, business tax write off, who cares? Now, when you decide, yes, I want to give this a go, what you do is you schedule a promotional party with the person who invited you here
Mhm.
tonight. It can be online, it can be in person, it however you want to do it. But really, what it is, it's almost like somebody else letting your people know that you're the new jewelry person. It works very well when you use a third party
Absolutely.
for that, right? Because we're just going to be fun. We have no preconceived ideas on who we're talking to.
Mhm.
It's just going to be really super fun. But instead of us getting the paycheck, you'll get the paycheck. So what happens is if you have $99, you usually use a credit card. By the time the credit card comes due, you will have a paycheck from that party that you just did. And if that's all you ever do with it,
Yeah.
which I hope it isn't, but if it is, you will come out ahead.
Yeah.
You'll get to keep all the jewelry, you'll keep the money. But I do ask that, I think successful people stick with things for a little bit, get through some of the hiccups, and we're here to help you. When I was deciding to marry my husband, I'm like, I'm afraid to jump. And he goes, when you jump, I'll catch you. And I so often remember him saying that. I
Oh,
know.
geez.
And
Thanks,
that's
Mary
how
Grace.
we
You had to say that, right?
that's how we feel about you guys.
Yeah,
Like if you jump, we'll catch you.
we
And
will.
it's going to be such a fun ride. So we
Thank
hope you'll
you.
join us.
Oh, that was awesome. Loved it. So we did 22 minutes, which is excellent. We're getting way better at this. But I just want to say thank you to everybody who hopped in tonight. If you're catching this on the replay, leave a comment. Also, if you're in the Grace and Grit studio, which there's 15 of you that hung out with us this whole time, I really appreciate that. Go to the top to the featured section and pull the questionnaire, so you can fill it out. And Mary Grace gives you 24 hours to do that. And then
Yeah.
when she chooses a winner, she will announce it here in the studio. And she will send you jewelry curated to your personal taste because you've answered that questionnaire in a certain way. So
Yes.
thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much, everybody. So excited to see all the yeses come through, and we'll be looking to get to know you all a lot better. Thanks for joining us tonight. Bye.
Bye bye, everybody.